guys, it's Judge B coming at you for the next Steven Bomb! Yes, a week long of Steven Universe shows, brand spanking new after the whole hiatus. So let's start off with the very first episode, Sworn to the Sword. So this episode is completely about Connie learning how to be a sword fighter, which is going to be awesome! If you guys remember in Lion 3, straight to home video, we actually got to see inside of Rose Quartz's room, and Connie got a hold of Rose's sword. So it's our first little inclination of her being a swordsman. And you know what? We started off with Connie want to learn from Pearl. Now at first it seemed like a pretty much basic episode of just them, teaching Connie how to be a knight, as they kept saying, be loyal to your liege. But then it starts getting a little bit creepy. What I mean by creepy is that Pearl is talking in a way of like, you are nothing. Your king or your liege is everything. You will sacrifice your life for your liege no matter what. And Connie is an impressionable little girl, so she takes this to heart. Like, it gets really weird to where she's like, my life means nothing, I am to die for you. It's like, that's not good. And even Steven said, I'm not too comfortable with this either. Also, in this episode, we get introduced to a brand new song called Do It For Him, or Do It For Her, depending on who you're talking to on that one. Because when Pearl is singing it, she's singing it as if she's talking about herself protecting Rose, not Connie protecting Steven. We're getting another glimpse of the crazy obsessed Pearl. For those who aren't familiar with crazy obsessed Pearl, everything that has to do with Rose Quartz she adores, obsesses, and is very loyal to. That's a nice way of saying it. Almost, it's a very unhealthy, toxic relationship that Pearl has with Rose Quartz. And it gets explained even further in this episode. So we go back to Pearl teaching Connie how to fight, and she wears this new outfit. Connie wears this new outfit that at first reminded me of Gohan from Dragon Ball Z, Piccolo and Gohan's things. But as a further research, I gotta give it to Steven Universe writers and their art directors, because it actually isn't based on Gohan. It's actually based off of an Indian martial arts called, I am so gonna butcher this, Kalaparayattu. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. I'm sorry for any Indian people who actually can pronounce it right. I'm sorry. But it's actually some martial arts based in India, such it kind of goes with Connie being Indian. It seems to be a martial art based on sword fighting and aerial acrobatics. And once I looked that up, I was like, wow, they actually are accepting a lot of Connie's culture. Because a lot of shows, they'll put a character in there, and either that character will be from a diverse group that is very stereotypical. But this one actually isn't. Like, I'm actually loving what they're doing with Connie when it comes to race. Like, and I'm so happy for the Steven Universe crew really introducing more and more things to us. But let's get to the climactic part of it. So, Steven gets a little upset that Connie's being pretty much brainwashed into sacrificing her life and talks to the gems. The gems tell her, like, yeah, it makes sense that she's teaching Connie this because when she was young, she kind of did that all the time. She sacrificed herself every single time for Rose, even when Rose didn't need it. To the point to where she would get destroyed over and over again, but would keep coming back to protect Rose, even though Rose didn't really need the protection. So imagining Rose Quartz in a situation must have been really, really upsetting for her because her friend, her subordinate, her soldier is keep getting hurt for her when she doesn't need to. Oh, Lord, I feel really bad for Rose. I feel really bad for Pearl, too, because she's going to figure this out eventually, I think. I hope so, but let's just say, let's just put a crazy Pearl counter. This is level 5, I'm going to guess. Not that high right now. So Steven goes into the training room to find Connie and Pearl getting ready for the final test. And so in the final test, he goes in there to try to find Connie and runs into Hollow Pearl. Hollow Pearl automatically tries to stab him, and we get the first scene of Connie being badass, simply just stabs her in the chest like, hey, I got this, don't worry, I am your knight, I will die for you. And Steven just sort of said, like, if you are going to defend me, who's going to defend you? And he pulls out his shield. I'm like, hold up, Steven can control his weapon now? Or is it just a fluke? I don't know, but for the rest of the fight, it seemed like he's in full control now because he puts the shield up, then he puts bubble up. So it's like, he knows how to do shield and bubble at the exact same time and control it? He has gotten so much better at controlling his powers. I'm so happy for Steven just growing and growing. And Connie agrees, so it's like, okay, cool. You be the shield, I'll be the sword. And Pearl doesn't like it. Pearl stops trying to say, hold up, stop. No, Steven, you're supposed to be here. She's supposed to die. She's supposed to fight me and only me because she doesn't know, she does not have you to protect her. And Steven goes like, no, I will be there for her. That is my friend. I will always be with her. And they fight Pearl. Like, there are no words. It's straight up like, I will fight for her. And they just charge up on Pearl. And Pearl's taking it back a bit because Connie comes in swinging really, really hard until Pearl parries her and tries to strike her. But here comes Steven back to back with a shield. Blam! It's like, Steven has no more fear. So then they do a double prong attack to try to take her down. But of course, Pearl has had thousands of years of experience. So that fight kind of got destroyed real quick. It's like, why won't you let me do this? It's like, no, I will be there for Connie. Then let's put the counter up to about 9. And Pearl just screams out, why won't you let me do this for you, Rose? Oh, we're going to have a moment, aren't we? We're going to have a moment. And like straight up starts crying a little bit. It's like, you know what? I mean, why don't you let her do it for you, Steven? And just stops and just goes to walk over on her own. And they come to her and ask her, like, are you okay? Like, Steven explains, like, I didn't like what you were telling Connie about. She's nothing. She is not nothing. She is my friend. I'm waiting for him to say he loves Connie. That's what I'm waiting for, but I digress. And they even asked, like, did Rose make you feel like you were nothing? And she showed up and says, like, no, Rose made me feel like I was everything. It has not been solidified yet if the relationship between Rose and Pearl were romantic or not. And honestly, I couldn't tell you because the way Pearl acts, it's almost like a stalker. Like, she feels there's a relationship there, but Rose might not have because she ended up with Greg. So, I don't know what's going on with there. And she eventually cheers up because that's how Pearl is. She goes from, you know, a 5 to a 9, back down to a 1. Now she's okay. It says, okay, cool. We will start up a new training program, and Steven, you're going to learn now because Connie's practically an expert. It's like, wow. You gave me an episode to where we get badass scenes of fighting, show how Steven has grown as a crystal gem, and you get this feeling moment. Oh wow, it's like amazing. I love what they're doing. I can't say that enough. Like, this big smile on my face is actually how big my smile was when I first saw the episode. So, that's episode 1 of the Steven Bomb, Sworn to the Sword. Remember, guys, to like and subscribe to see more of my content. I love talking to you guys. You love watching me for some reason. Hope you have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. It's been epically real.